Joe Camel was the advertising mascot for Camel cigarettes from late 1987 to July 12, 1997, appearing in magazine advertisements, billboards, and other print media. History: the U.S. marketing team of J. Reynolds, looking for an idea to promote Camel's 75th anniversary, rediscovered Joe in the company's archives in the late 1980s. Quoted from the New York Times. Joe Camel was actually born in Europe. The caricatured camel was created in 1974 by a British artist, Billy Coulton, for a French advertising campaign that subsequently ran in other countries in the 1970s. Indeed, Mr. O'Toole recalled a visit to France many years ago during which he glimpsed Joe Camel wearing a Foreign Legion cap. The inspiration behind Mr. Price's cartoon was the camel, named Old Joe, that has appeared on all Camel packages since the brand's initial appearance in 1913. Joe Camel first appeared in the U.S. in 1988, in materials created for the 75th anniversary of the Camel brand by Trone Advertising. Trone is a mid-size agency in Greensboro, North Carolina, that Reynolds used on various advertising and promotional projects. Physical appearance: the character lacked many typical camel traits. Feet were always to be covered, in footwear consistent with the rest of the outfit. The character also lacked a tail or hump. Advertising presented Joe Camel in a variety of fun and entertaining, contemporary and fresh situations, wearing bold and bright colors, blue and yellow where appropriate. His face remained the same in different advertising pieces, and images of his hands only used when necessary. Controversy: in 1991, the Journal of the American Medical Association published a study showing that by age 6 nearly as many children could correctly respond that Joe Camel was associated with cigarettes as could respond that the Disney Channel logo was associated with Mickey Mouse, and alleged that the Joe Camel campaign was targeting children, despite J. Reynolds' contention that the campaign had been researched only among adults and was directed only at the smokers of other brands. At that time it was also estimated that 32.8% of all cigarettes sold illegally to underage buyers were Camels, up from less than 1%. Subsequently, the American Medical Association asked J. Reynolds Nabisco to pull the campaign. J. Reynolds refused, and the Joe Camel campaign continued. In 1991, Janet Mancini, a San Francisco-based attorney, brought a suit against J. Reynolds, challenging the company for targeting minors with its Joe Camel advertising campaign. In her complaint, Mancini alleged that teenage smokers accounted for $476 million of Camel cigarette sales in 1992. When the Joe Camel advertisements started in 1988, that figure was only at $6 million, implicitly suggesting such advertisements have harmed a great many teenagers by luring them into extended use of and addiction to tobacco products. J. Reynolds has denied Joe Camel was intended to be directed at children. The company maintains that Joe Camel's target audience was 25-49-year-old males and current Marlboro smokers. In response to the criticism, J. Reynolds instituted Let's Clear the Air on Smoking, a campaign of full-page magazine advertisements consisting entirely of text, typically set in large type, denying those charges, and declaring that smoking is an adult custom. Internal documents produced to the court in Mancini v. J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, San Francisco County Superior Court No. 959516, demonstrated the industry's interest in targeting children as future smokers. The importance of the youth market was illustrated in a 1974 presentation by JR's Vice President of Marketing, who explained that the young adult market represents tomorrow's cigarette business. As this 14 to 24 age group matures, they will account for a key share of the total cigarette volume, for at least the next 25 years. A 1974 memo by the J. Reynolds Research Department points out that capturing the young adult market is vital because virtually all smokers start by the age of 25, and most smokers begin smoking regularly and select a usual brand at or before the age of 18. In July 1997, under pressure from the impending Mancini trial, Congress, and various public interest groups, RJR announced it would settle out of court and voluntarily end its Joe Camel campaign. A new campaign with a more adult theme debuted. Instead of Joe Camel, it had a plain image of a quadrupedal, non-anthropomorphic camel. This image is still used in advertisements for Camel today. As part of the agreement, RJR also paid $10 million to San Francisco and the other California cities and counties who intervened in the Mangione litigation. This money was earmarked primarily to fund anti-smoking efforts targeted at youth. See also: Marlboro Man, Willie, the Cool Penguin. References. External links: A gallery of Joe Camel advertisements. Joe Camo, an anti-smoking website based on an Adbusters character.